Good afternoon, grade 9. Welcome to our lesson for this day. Another continuation of the lesson of quadratic equation. So, di ba, ang daming lesson ng quadratic equation. And today, it's about solution to quadratic equation by completing the square naman. So, if a quadratic equation is of the form ax plus b squared equals c, the left-hand side is a perfect square. As illustrated in the previous lesson, the equation ax plus b squared equals c can be solved by taking the square root of each side. And if a quadratic equation does not factor readily, then completing the square can be used to convert one side into a perfect square. So, pero paano, di ba? Yan, the process of completing the square. To make x squared plus ax into a perfect square, add a over 2 or the half of a squared, which is the square of half the coefficient of x. Then notice that x squared plus ax plus, ayan yung half the coefficient of x, which is the a over 2 squared equals x plus a over 2 squared is a perfect square now. So after completing the square, use extracting the square root to solve the quadratic equation. Kaya mahalaga na bawat lesson natin ay inyong naiintindihan. Bakit? Kasi connected ang mga yan. Or, yung mga lessons natin, kung hindi mo alam yung mga previous lesson, mahihirapan kang intindihin yung mga present lessons and yung mga future lessons. So let's have example. Solve x squared minus 8x plus 3 equals 0 by completing the square. So here is the solution. And ayan. X squared minus 8x plus 3 equals 0 yung ating given. Then, ayan. So, ang ginawa niyo first is to transpose positive 3. Kaya siya naging negative 3. And sabi kanina, to complete the square, so we have to look for the coefficient of x. So, anong coefficient ng x dito or yung kasama ng x? We have 8. Diba? Then, ano ba yung half ng 8? So, we have here, ayan, half ng 8. Or, pwede namang 4 na kaagad. Ayan, dapat both sides, nag-add tayo ng half of the coefficient of x. And, bakit siya naging x minus 4 squared equals negative 3 plus 16. So, di ba? Yung half ng 8 is 4. Then, yung square niya, or 4 squared, it will be 4 times 4, then equals sa 16. Kaya siya naging 16 dito. So, yung sa left side, kung bakit siya naging ganito, kasi finactor niya na. So, paano siya naging ganon? So, kung papansin niyo yung sa line na ito, we have x squared minus 8x plus yung 8 half, or yung half ng 8, then squared, equal yan sa 16. So, we have x squared minus 8x plus 16. Diba ganyan siya? So, ang factor kasi ng x squared minus 8x plus 16 is ito, yung x minus 4 squared. So, paano nangyari yon? Using FOIL method, diba? Kapag sinolve natin to, we have x minus 4 times x minus 4. May shortcut dyan, pero mahihirapan kayo. Para hindi kayo malito, using FOIL method. So, x times x will be x squared. Ito yon. And, outer, or yung O sa FOIL method, we have x and negative 4. We have negative 4x. And yung inner, negative 4 times x, we have also negative 4x. So, combining like terms, we have negative 4x and negative 4x. Pag pinag-add yan, magiging negative 8x. Ito yon. And then, yung last term, we have negative 4 times negative 4 equals positive 16. Kaya siya naging ganito yung ating factor. Ito, wait. Ayan, kaya naging ganito na yung factor nun. So, now, wait. Erase muna natin. Next, ayan, since positive 16, or ayan, negative 3 and positive 16, different sign, kaya minus natin sila. 16 minus 3 will be positive, or 16 minus 3 will be positive 13. Then, to extract the square root, diba sabi kanina kapag okay na, complete na yung square natin, pwede na natin siyang gamit, or pwede na natin i-apply yung extracting the square root. So, since dito meron tayong x minus 4 squared equals positive 13. So, extracting the root, cancel yung exponent na 2, then yung square root. Kaya ang natira x minus 4. Then dito, nagkaroon ng square root 13, or yan, square root of 13. Then, to get the value of x transpose, yung natira dun sa left side, maliban kay x. So, we have natira si x. Then, negative 4 will be positive 4. Then, copy positive and negative square root of 13. Then, i-separate natin yung positive and negative. So, dito sa una, 4 plus square root of 13. Then, dito sa pangalawa, 4 minus square root of 13. So, ganun siya. Next example, solve x squared plus 3x plus 2 equals 0 by completing the square. So, kuhanin natin yung half ng coefficient ng x. We have here the coefficient of x na 3. Then, yung half niyan, 3 halves. So, ayan. Transpose again yung number or positive 2, so magiging negative 2. And then, yung sinabi ko sa inyo na half of the coefficient of x, we have 3 halves. Ito yon. Then, ganun din sa kabila. Next. So, paano nangyari to? So, yung 3 halves, kapag kasi ni-squared natin yan, yung numerator and denominator, mas-squared siya. So, 3 squared will be 9. Then, 2 squared will be 4. Kaya, 9 over 4. Ito yon. So, we have 9 over 4. Then, pag in-add natin yan kay negative 2, so, add negative 2. Ito na yung sinusolve natin. Ito. So, sa addition of fraction and whole number, kuhanin natin yung, since ang whole number meron siya denominator na 1, kuhanin natin yung LCD. So, since 1 and 4, ang LCD niyan ay 4. Then, solve natin siya sa first fraction na negative 2 over 1. So, we have 4 divided by yung denominator ng fraction, 1. So, we have 4 divided by 1 will be positive 4. Then, times natin siya dun sa numerator. Negative 2 siya. So, 4 times negative 2 magiging negative 8. And then, next, 4 divided by 4 will be 1. Dun sa second fraction na tayo. And 1 times 9 will be positive 9. Ayan. And next, since dito, ang factor ng x squared plus 3x plus 3 halves squared is ito. So, kapag sinolve kasi natin yan, ang makukuha natin itong nasa line na to. Using FOIL method ulit. And next, we have, ayan, kapag sinubtract natin, nawawala yung negative sign dito. So, kapag sinubtract natin to, yung sa right side ng ating solution, negative 8 minus, or negative 8 plus 9 will be 1. Kasi kapag subtraction, 9 minus 8, 1. Tapos follow the sign of the biggest number. So, 1 over 4. Ayan. Kaya, ito na yung 1 over 4. Pero, saan galing yung square root? Diba? Subtracting the square root. Ayan. Cancel. Cancel. Then, ang natira ay, yan. X plus 3 halves equals positive negative 1 half. Kasi, ang square root ng 1 ay 1. Ang square root ng 4 ay 2. Kaya, 1 half. Yan. Then, para makuha natin yung value ng x, transpose again. So, yung process niya, tandaan nyo. So, from positive 3 halves, naging negative 3 halves. Ayan. Then, para isolve natin sila, so, iseparate natin yung positive and negative. So, first, we have negative 3 halves. Okay, wait. Erase ko. Ayan. We have negative 3 halves. Sa positive muna tayo. Plus 1 half. So, since same denominator or similar fractions, negative 3 plus 1 will be negative 2. Then, copy denominator. So, negative 2 divided by 2 will be negative 1. Kaya, ang first value ni x or solution natin ay negative 1. Then, dun sa pangalawa, we have negative 3 halves minus 1 half. So, since same sign, negative 3 and negative 1, pag-add, so negative 4. Then, over 2. So, negative 4 divided by 2 will be negative 2. Kaya, ang second solution or second value ng x ay negative 2. And, notice that adding a or a over 2 squared to x squared plus ax will be or will make it a perfect square. In the event that the coefficient of x squared is not 1, factor the coefficient of x squared before determining the completing term or a over 2 squared. Ayan. Next, solve for x squared plus 16x plus 1 equals 0 by completing the square. So, dito kung mapapansin nyo, ang ating x squared ay may kasamang 4. So, kailangan muna natin yang i-factor. So, since divisible sila by 4, ang 4x squared and 16x, ilalabas natin si 4. Ayan. Kaya ang natira nung 4x squared divided by 4 ay x squared na lang. Then, 16x divided by 4 ay 4x na lang. Then, copy negative 1. So, bakit siya naging ganito? 'Di ba ang coefficient ng x ay 4. So, ang half ng 4 ay, 'di ba, magiging ganyan yan. Half the coefficient of x, then square. So, 4 divided by 2 will be 2. Then, 2 square will be 4. Ayan. Kaya, naging 4 ito. Pero, bakit yung sa kabila 16? Since meron tayong 4 dito, kung papansin ninyo, kapag minultiply natin yan kay 4, magiging 16. Ayan, kaya 16 yan. So, yung factor ng ating x squared plus 4x plus 4 is ito, x plus 2 squared. So, paano nangyari yun? Using FOIL method, x times x will be x squared. Then, x times 2, 2x. Then, another one, x times or 2 times x, 2x. Kaya naging 4x. Ayan. Then, 2 times 2 will be 4. So, yung shortcut yung ginamit ko. Pero, kayo, using FOIL method para makuha nyo yung factor ng ito. Para ma-check nyo kung ito ba yung factor niya. Next, we have here, negative 1 plus 16 will be 15. So, saan nanggaling itong 4? So, dito, kung papansin niyo, we have 4x squared or 4 parenthesis x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals yung negative 1 plus 16 will be 15. So, para ma-cancel yan, divide natin sila by 4. 4. Yan. Cancel na siya nun. Then, ang natira, ito na lang. Yung x squared plus 4x plus 4. So, ang factor niya ay x plus 2 squared. Then, 15 over 4. Ito yun. And next, extracting the square root. So, babalik na tayo dito sa extracting the square root. So, kapag in-extract yung square root, cancel square root and exponent 2. Yan, cancel, cancel. So, ang matitira ay x plus 2. Then, dito sa kabila, positive and negative square root of 15. Pero yung, di ba yung square root of 15, wala siyang square root, kaya copy. Then, yung square root of 4, equal yan sa 2. Kaya, 2 ito. Ayan. And, to get the value of x, transpose positive 2, kaya naging negative 2. Then, copy positive and negative square root of 15 over 2. Then, para makuha yung value ng ating x, so, i-separate natin itong positive and negative. So, we have negative 2 plus square root of 15 over 2. So, since dito, meron tayong addition of whole number and mixed or fraction, we have to get the LCD. So, ang LCD natin ay 2. Bakit? Kasi ito ay automatic na 1, ang whole number. So, we have here 2 divided by the denominator of the first fraction, 1. 2 divided by 1 will be 2. Then, 2 times 2 or 2 times negative 2 will be negative 4. Ayan, plus 2 divided by 2, dito na tayo sa second fraction, 1. 1 times square root of 15 will be square root of 15. Kaya, ito yung sa first solution. Next, we have negative 2. Doon naman tayo sa minus square root of 15 over 2. So, ganun din. The LCD will be 2. So, meron automatic ng denominator na 1. 2 divided by 1 will be 2. Then, 2 times negative 2 will be negative 4. Then, copy the operation which is negative. Then, 2 divided by 2 will be 1 times square root of 15. It will be square root of 15. So, ito yung sa pangalawang value ng x. Next. So, next, remarks. Complex numbers are of the form a plus bi, where a and b are real numbers and I is the imaginary number, or I equals negative or square root of negative 1. So, yan, kapag ang nakuha nating value ay negative or square root of negative numbers, so yan ay complex numbers or imaginary number. Kagaya nito, kapag dito dun sa example sa book nyo, meron tayong solution set na negative 3 positive negative square root of 55i over 4. Yan ay imaginary number. So, keep in mind, to make x squared plus ax into a perfect square, add the half of coefficient of x squared, or the square of half the coefficient of x. And after completing the square, proceed with extracting the square root to solve the quadratic equation. And kapag naintindihan nyo na, answer the following on your book, page 24 and 25. So, accuracy, basic application, and challenge. Pag hindi nyo pa naintindihan, just watch the video again. That's all for this day. God bless and thank you.